Hey everyone, welcome to Antique and Garden Showcase. Today I'm going to take you through the process of putting the drip system back together after it's been down all winter. So I'm going to take all the pieces and parts out to drip system 1, which is going around the front of the house. It's a single zone system, which means there's one supply line running to everything. I don't have multiple supply lines going different places. And I'm going to show you in the video how I control things that may not need to be watered every day, even though they're on the same supply line. So there are ways that you can do that and keep it simple, but you still have to go out and do a little bit of work. But it's so much easier than carrying water to every single pot and trying to do that every single day. And it's much, much more efficient. Believe me, the water bill was a big difference last year by using a drip system. It really saved a whole bunch, because when you take a sprinkler full of water and pour it into a planter, most of it goes right out the bottom. With a drip system, you're putting just a little bit in there and it's saturating and there's not as much waste. So that's a big bonus to a drip system. So without further ado, let's go take a look at how to put this thing together. So the parts we're going to need to install the drip system, we're going to start with this. I'm putting in 2 controllers this year, so I'm actually going to put in a 4-way splitter. I'm going to put one controller on this side, one controller on this side. I'm going to put quick connects on here in case I want to connect garden hoses or put just a faucet to fill up a sprinkler or something out front. So this is going to be the first part I'm going to add to my faucet this year. Then I've got 2 of the Orbit Beehive controllers right here. And these take 1 AA battery, and surprisingly this lasted the entire season last year for me, so I'm hoping for the same result. 1 AA battery. This is a quick connect that goes to this. I originally bought a Scott's kit, and this is a flow control valve. This actually pressurizes the 1/4-inch line, and you slide the 1/4-inch line up on this end down here, and this is what builds up pressure in the line to make the drip system work. So it quick connects onto this. These are the quick connects I'm going to put on the center of this part right here. So I've just got those in a packet here on the side. Now for my second Beehive, I've got another flow control valve. This was one that I bought 2 or 3 drip kits, and I just kept these aside, so I'm going to use this. I wish I knew what pressure rating this was for you all. I have no idea. But now home improvement stores, they do sell these in their drip kit or their drip system sections, so you can find the flow control valve that's right for a 1/4-inch line in those sections if you cannot find that kit. Now the nice thing about the Beehive, and it does take a battery to operate it, the Beehive is Bluetooth connectable to your phone, so you can actually just log into your phone, set the different times that you want your drip system to work on here, and it goes every day. And you're thinking, well, what if you get a bunch of rain? What do? You simply go into your phone, into your app, and you say, today is a rain day. I want to delay 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and it will not run until that time is up, which is a really nice feature of the Beehive, and that's why I went with this particular one to control the drip system in the front. I'm going to use the same one to control the back system. I'm just not ready to put it in yet, but I will hook the front one up today. So I'm going to start here at our water supply. I'm going to turn this to the left, and that comes off. This is a very neat piece that I don't think you can find anymore. They used to have these at home improvement centers, winter caps for your outside faucets, and I love these things. They're probably 20 to 30 years old, but they work beautifully every year, so I keep these and keep them up, store that inside. You may ask, why do I have a 4-inch pot buried in the ground? Because the drip system is too long. This is low clearance to the ground here, so it had to have room to kind of go down in when I put that flow control valve on there last year. So I'm going to see with the new part angled out, it might be a little bit different this year. So first thing I'm going to do is put that part on, and then we'll go to the getting the Beehive set up. Okay, so I told you incorrectly. The Beehive actually takes two AA batteries. They go in a little compartment like this, and they slide in the back. Now I did get that connected, and I've run into another problem. So this puts the Beehive over to the side, and I'm not gonna have enough room to put in the flow control valve here. So I'm gonna be digging again and repositioning this, and I'll probably need a second one over here for when I do the one for the back of the house. So with change comes change to positioning of things, but this faucet is so low to the ground that this is what you run into. So I had this down in here last year and had the drip tube connected to it down in there, so this will have to be changed. So I'm going to work on that, and then we'll proceed on. I have the pot repositioned in the ground, and that will allow this piece to fit on the faucet and actually be hooked up. But right now what we're going to do is I put the flow control valve into the quick connect. I'm going to take the main supply line here, and that's going to go right on the end here. All right, so this is a one zone system. It has one supply line, and everything runs off this 1/4 inch supply line. It goes to every container in the front yard. So that looks like an awful lot, but it does actually work well. And I'll show you the types of drippers that I use in pots and how I do the loop in every pot so the system connects back into itself so it maintains pressure throughout. And I've had no issues. Last year it actually was a wonderful thing because it saved on water and saved on time. It's a very valuable tool in the garden. So here we go. I'm going to hook this up next. So I've got the supply line connected, and one of the neat things about this particular one that was in the kit, it has a little metal piece that kicks back and kind of holds this in place. So now I can go ahead and just place this, see how that fits down in there, and then I can attach that right onto the faucet, and then this will be ready to go. So I'm going to attach it to the faucet now. All right, so there we have the Beehive connected to the faucet, connected to the flow control valve, connected to the 1/4 inch tubing, and everything's all, the excess tubing's rolled up in there. There's no crimps, no anything. This is actually ready to run. So, but I don't have pots hooked up at this point right now. As soon as I get those hooked up, we'll give this a test and see how, well, we may give it a test before we have anything hooked up, but I do have to go find all the supply lines and all the urns first. But this is the basics of just hooking up the Beehive, the controller system itself. Now, the neat thing about this, like I said, it is Bluetooth. You can go to your phone, set up a program to water and whatever else. So I want to show you a bit about the Beehive app. It has some neat features on it. Right down here, it will tell you you can water manually. If you press that button, it will do nothing. No, there you go. And then you hit the play button at the bottom. And then you can set how much time you want it to water manually. It will kick on and then automatically kick off. If you don't want to do that, just hit the red X. It'll take you back. Clear that. Let's go back. And then in the middle, it will say you have no program scheduled. Well, if I want to schedule a program, I go down here, and then I had things like morning water, mid-morning water, mid-afternoon, and evening water. So I can program what I want to do in each one of those fields. So that program says, how would you like to modify the program? You can edit it. So the start time on that originally was 7 a.m. and I think I had it going for 8 minutes. So you can have that system run for 8 minutes. It's really easy, and you don't have to, have a mid-morning or a morning right at first. If you want to run evening only, you can go back here and just click which one you want to run. So if I want to run only morning water, then it's on now. I've clicked that on, but I don't want that, so I'm going to turn that off. Right now I've got everything off because, it's just, like I said, I don't need it. It's raining and whatever else, but it will be ready when I do need it. What if you have pots in the shade, like those 2 urns right there, and they don't need to be watered every single day? I do have shut-off valves on the back of those pots. You can see it right there. and I can actually manually control those pots. That way, if I want to shut that off, I can. I don't have to water it every cycle that I have set on the Beehive. So some things I don't have shut-off valves to. I don't have shut-off valves to this because it waters every day. It's out in full sun. Don't to this. Don't to the other urn over there. But now the containers that are on the wall, farther on out there, I have a shut-off valve on all 3 of the long containers on the wall. So it really just depends on the situation that you're in, whether you want to shut off or not. If you're doing a 1-zone system, that's important. It's a 1-zone system. There is 1 supply line. It runs through. See, this one right here is a break off to this one. From here, I have another line tapped in right there. It runs over, picks up this container. It goes from here across the front porch, picks up that urn, goes over, does the other urn. Then it goes behind that magnolia tree on the corner all the way down the wall and waters every pot on the wall and the ones that are sitting out in the landscape. So that's what I'm calling a 1-zone system. Okay, so I did kick the system on by Bluetooth, and you can see the water on the porch that ran out, so the system is running. I do have a valve right here that controls anything that I set on this table. So I can put a planter on this table, hook it right in to here. If I don't want this on, all I do is go over here, and I can turn this off just by one simple twist to the right. So that's now off, it won't work. I wish I could show you this actually working, but I can't film and control the Beehive at the same time. But you can see that there is water. There's water coming out from under the urn. There's water coming out from over there. I have another table over here that I put a planter on, so that valve's working. So it looks like the system's working pretty well, but I will test further. Okay, I didn't think I'd get around to this part in this video, but I'm going to. This is the supply line that runs off the main line right back here to this urn. This is what we're going to connect the pot to. I have the pot liner down here. It has a quick connect on the end. So you can see that will just go right into the 1/4-inch pipe that's in the urn. This goes up through the drain hole in the pot. I have 2 half-gallon per hour disc drippers in there. They're kind of orange looking. They have a little hole in them and they drip half-gallon per hour. There's 2. There's another one over here. I plant them kind of where I put them where they're in between the plants so that everybody's roots get a nice happy drink of water. Now this will saturate all the way to the bottom. In fact, you can see here where I just tested the system. It runs out really easy. I was really hoping to get some urn repair done here. I've got some rust going on and that needs to be done, and well, we're looking at 7 days of rain again, so probably won't need the drip system, but I'm going to put the flowers out here anyway because I need the garage room. So anyway, long story short, I'm going to plug this in to up here, and then that's going to have that one connected, and that creates a loop. This is all in a loop back to, connects back into itself into the drip system. That way it makes like a complete circuit. So the system is on and it's working around the porch, but I've determined that I have an issue out here. I'm not getting any water. At some point out here, things stop. And I see this supply line is working. So I've got water coming there. But then I get down to this part. Okay, I've got water coming out of that supply line. This supply line should also be open, but there's nothing coming out here at all. This one has dried up, so I don't know what's going on from this point forward, because I'm getting water here through the drip system, but not 3 feet down from it. So that's an interesting issue. But this has been closed up all winter, so there's no telling what's going on. So I'm gonna have to inspect this a little further and see what's happening out here. Hey, I'm gonna break in here real quick and tell you that there was nothing wrong with the drip system. What I had done was I left a open line to the underground line that goes over to this urn was left open, and that left like a vacuum didn't keep the system from pressurizing. So that was what was wrong. Found the issue today. So I think that's where I'm going to wrap this up today. A few closing thoughts on drip systems. It's always good to check them out at the beginning of the season whenever you start out. That's one thing that I found out today, that I do have a problem in the line about halfway down the driveway wall, which I think I can fix really easy. I've got to look at that. Another thing, you saw how I put together the connection at the faucet, and that connection has a Bluetooth timer, and it also has a pressurization valve that goes on there, and then your 1/4-inch tubing that goes on that. Now each pot is fixed like the pots that I showed in the video. They all make a loop, and they have a couple of emitters per pot. If it's a larger pot, maybe 3, maybe 4 max if it's a really large pot. So with that, the loop actually makes the system like a complete circuit, so that keeps the pressure running through the whole system evenly. And if you don't have that, things get out of balance really quick, really easy. It's one thing that I learned the hard way last year. I kept trying to put different emitters on there and trying to get it to work. It just wouldn't work. I had to go back through and put the loop in on every pot. So every single thing that you do on a 1/4-inch system like that must be that way. So I'll get in there, I'll fix that other part, and I should be able to have most everything hooked up, I hope, by the weekend. Not that I'm going to need it. The 7-day forecast around here shows nothing but rain and scattered showers every single day. So today I had the pleasure of mowing the yard and trying to get ready for yet another long delay of getting anything done around here, which has really been the story of spring 2022. But I put some flowers out anyway. I'm like, they'll enjoy being outside in the rain. It's going to be warm, so no problems. We'll get to it. We'll have better days ahead. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.